If we eliminate the lines, the most entrancing star I accept is the star that could be dazzling in our sky. It is this one, Betelgeuse or Scarab Squeeze. It's a red giant star, and on the remote possibility that you put it where the sun is, it would connect with the orbit of Jupiter. It's gigantic, very fickle, and going to explode. However, it's not generally as clear as it appears to be in the universe. These epic events, like the most incredibly feared enormous starburst, could shake all that we see and don't see to its core. Betelgeuse has been considered a sign, a red giant star that is several times more significant than our sun. Brian Cox and other space specialists believe it could go supernova at any time. People are generally frightened of what will happen, especially since the James Webb Space Telescope is taking dazzling photographs of the star. When exactly will Betelgeuse become a supernova, and how immense of an effect will it have on Earth? Let us sort out this star in the constellation Orion that shines so brightly that even people from quite some time ago have seen it. The Imminent star Betelgeuse is located on the eastern shoulder of the constellation, and it's the second largest star in that formation. Its name comes from this feature, the monster shoulder. It is quite possibly one of the most brilliant stars in the night sky. On top of being especially bright, the star is also an odd shade of red, which, as we will see, means trouble. We've had some huge awareness of Betelgeuse for a long time. A Greek analyst named TMY also thought about it. Around that time, the main thing people acknowledged about stars was their color. TMY said that Betelgeuse was orange. Scientists have been concentrating on the star much more intently of late, and now have a good idea of what makes it so unusually bright. One of these attributes is that the star changes brightness a lot. With an apparent size of 0.6, Betelgeuse is a variable star, meaning its brightness changes over time. However, lately experts have found some new data about the star. In 2019, scientists initially saw that Betelgeuse was acting peculiarly. Even though it didn't totally stop shining, it became significantly less bright, shining at an extent of around 1.6. Scientists promptly began to explore why they were seeing the 10th most brilliant star in the sky behave in such an exceptional way. Specialists have made a frightening statement based on their research, which revealed strange signs the star has recently shown. Specialists say that Betelgeuse could go supernova at any time. Brian Cox, a prominent scientist who offered this incredibly dangerous statement, is a professor of particle physics at the University of Manchester School of Physics and Astronomy. You shouldn't take his statement as a joke. He also has a science show, writes many popular science books, and is the Royal Society's teacher for public engagement with science. Brian Cox says that Betelgeuse looks like a ticking delayed bomb, since it could go off without warning. To compound the situation, the James Webb Space Telescope has shown an enormous amount of evidence to back up this statement. Anyway, what strange signs has Betelgeuse given that have caused so much trouble in space science? With new information about Betelgeuse, the star has been named a supernova candidate. However, scientists are still unsure when it will explode. The fact that Betelgeuse is multiple times the mass of the sun is one explanation for this classification. A star, so to speak, ought to be several times the mass of the sun to be classified as a supernova. Things get really intriguing, however, because scientists have used numerous tools to research Betelgeuse, like the James Webb Space Telescope and the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, to observe what's happening in space around it. What they found is still unclear. Betelgeuse was born on August 31st, quite a while ago. Around that time, it reportedly gave strange signs that made its future dim. What did they find? They detected peculiar light waves coming from Betelgeuse, which is very abnormal. But that wasn't the only thing experts saw from the star. This brings us to the possibility that Betelgeuse is a star whose brightness changes from time to time. It was said that Betelgeuse dimmed down at regular intervals and had dark spots, much like our sun today. However, the circumstances have changed. Its brightness changes from bright to dim twice as fast as it used to, which is another strange sign. Scientists found that the star's dimming cycle had hit a band of brightness at plus 1.61 in February 2021. This was soon after the huge darkening event. Remember how the star seemed to reduce in an unusual way in 2019? That's because it's generally known as the Great Dimming. The Great Dimming was the start of Betelgeuse's odd conduct, and that made quite a large number of people stressed that Betelgeuse was going to explode. The range of darkening was 1.2 between 2019 and 2020, and the least level of darkening ever recorded was in 2011. So experts were sure that Betelgeuse would go supernova in the next 100,000 years due to the phenomenal darkening. There is a process occurring in the universe that is truly terrifying. Scientists initially altered their perspectives, however, when they saw what happened next. Betelgeuse got brighter again after the Great Dimming, also transforming into something significantly more striking. Astrophysicist Andrea Dupree at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics says that the star is now 150% more brilliant than normal, making it the seventh brightest star in the sky right now. Scientists were scared when they saw a red sparkle in the southern portion of the globe. Today it still gets more intriguing because this has led to various thoughts about what caused the Great Dimming. First, it's critical to note that not all stars have the red shimmer of Betelgeuse. The red shimmer of Betelgeuse indicates that it is a red supergiant star, which is the last phase of a star's life before death. The red shimmer, on the other hand, is caused by a surface temperature of around 3,500 Kelvin, which is significantly cooler than the outer layer of the Sun at 5,500 Kelvin. Since Betelgeuse is cooler than our Sun, it radiates less energy per unit of surface area, despite being significantly larger and nearing detonation. Now we need to examine what the Great Dimming seems to indicate. Brian Cox asks, does it imply that Betelgeuse is going to go supernova? The fact that Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star already demonstrates that it is almost finished with its life as a star. A star that is dying will also typically dim over time, which is a natural process. All things considered, Betelgeuse's new strange behavior has made scientists significantly more concerned, and many telescopes are now focusing on the Great Dimming. However, things become more intriguing since experts still don't fully understand Betelgeuse. Scientists are now using the most cutting-edge instruments to monitor the fascinating phenomena happening around Betelgeuse. The James Webb Space Telescope has been one of the best tools scientists have used so far. Starting in 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope has been in space and has helped scientists glean significant insights about Betelgeuse. The new images of Betelgeuse's remarkable dimming taken by this telescope have shown that the event caused a surface mass ejection. Based on new research, we now know that this mass release was around 400 billion times greater than a typical coronal mass ejection. The James Webb Space Telescope can also observe phenomena invisible to the naked eye, such as light waves and frequencies. Consequently, specialists are excited about what the telescope will uncover. Scientists have seen dust clouds forming on the star's surface that appear to look like leaves floating in space. This observation is very unusual. Notwithstanding the fact that Betelgeuse will eventually die, scientists are still observing it closely since they don't know when it will go supernova. Betelgeuse is estimated to be multiple times the mass of the Sun, and this brilliant red star is expected to shine for the next decade. However, with so many unusual phenomena happening with the star, it's hard to say if this assertion will remain valid after the exceptional darkening. Experts no longer think Betelgeuse will detonate anytime soon. If Betelgeuse does explode, it will be the first supernova observed by humans since Johannes Kepler documented one in 1604. Scientists are keenly observing the star's peculiar behavior, while hoping the event doesn't happen too soon. Regardless of their predictions, the exact timing of Betelgeuse's explosion remains a mystery. If we examine the universe without preconceived boundaries, Betelgeuse may be one of the most enchanting stars, and perhaps the most astonishing in our sky. This red giant star, if placed where the Sun is, would extend all the way to Jupiter's orbit. Its incredibly large, unstable nature suggests it's on the brink of an explosive end. The universe doesn't operate in straightforward terms, but staggering events like these feared starbursts could drastically alter all that we see and understand. The aftermath of a Betelgeuse supernova would be an astronomical event of unprecedented significance. While the star is about 640 light-years away, a safe distance for Earth to avoid catastrophic consequences, the explosion would still be visible and impactful in ways that extend far beyond its brightness in the night sky. A celestial beacon. If Betelgeuse were to go supernova, it would outshine the full moon for weeks, potentially even months, and be visible in broad daylight. This dazzling display would provide astronomers with a rare opportunity to study a supernova in real time, as most observed supernovae are located millions of light-years away in distant galaxies. The explosion would generate an enormous burst of energy, releasing light across the electromagnetic spectrum, from gamma rays to radio waves. This light would allow scientists to study the detailed processes of a star's death, including how elements heavier than iron are formed and ejected into the universe during such an event. These heavy elements are critical for the creation of planets and life as we know it. Potential impact on Earth. Although Betelgeuse's explosion wouldn't physically harm Earth due to its distance, there could still be measurable effects. One of the primary concerns is the emission of high-energy gamma rays. While Earth's atmosphere would shield us from the majority of these rays, the ozone layer might suffer some depletion if the gamma rays were strong enough. A weakened ozone layer would temporarily increase ultraviolet, UV, radiation on the Earth's surface, which could harm ecosystems, especially marine life at the base of the food chain, such as plankton. However, scientists believe that any such effects would be minor and short-lived compared to the more catastrophic scenarios that would occur if a supernova happened much closer to Earth. Cosmic ripple effects. A Betelgeuse supernova would send shockwaves through the interstellar medium, the vast expanse of gas and dust that fills the space between stars. These shockwaves could compress nearby gas clouds, potentially triggering the formation of new stars. In essence, the death of one star could lead to the birth of others, highlighting the cyclical nature of the universe. The explosion would also release neutrinos, tiny, nearly massless particles that rarely interact with matter in enormous quantities. Detecting these neutrinos would provide valuable insights into the physics of supernovae, particularly the processes occurring in a collapsing stellar core. A new astronomical landmark. After the supernova fades, Betelgeuse's core may collapse into a neutron star, or if the remnant is massive enough, a black hole. Either of these outcomes would leave behind a celestial object that would continue to be a focus of scientific study. A neutron star would be an incredibly dense, fast-spinning object emitting pulses of radiation, while a black hole would offer a window into the most extreme gravitational phenomena in the universe. Implications for science and humanity. A Betelgeuse supernova would galvanize the scientific community, providing a wealth of data that could refine our understanding of stellar evolution, supernova mechanics, and the origins of the elements. It would also capture the imagination of the general public, serving as a reminder of the vast dynamic forces at play in the cosmos. For millennia, humans have gazed at the night sky, drawing meaning and inspiration from the stars. The eventual explosion of Betelgeuse would be a profound moment, connecting us to the life cycle of the universe and reminding us of our place within it. While scientists cannot predict precisely when Betelgeuse will go supernova, its increasing instability and strange behavior make it one of the most closely watched stars in the sky. Whether it happens tomorrow, in 1,000 years, or 100,000 years, Betelgeuse's death will mark the end of one chapter and the beginning of many others in our ongoing exploration of the universe.